You can run my final.
Run TJ's final. Run from my final, boy. Run my final right on the Dutton Ranch. You got to cross the whole ranch.
Dude, so you've been really binging the show.
Oh, dude, I'm like almost done season 4.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I am your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-hosts, Brian and Waleed.
What's up, guys?
As you can see from the title, we are here to talk about the season finale of season 2 of the Challenge All-Stars. Brian made a really great comparison pre-recording. This was a season that we weren't super a fan of, to be, let's say to be fair, or even to be nice. We really didn't enjoy the season a lot, but this finale we really enjoyed. And it was like a TV season, like a fictional show that went through an entire season that sucked, but the finale left you so happy and ready for the next year that like it revitalized us. And I feel like that we all kind of share that thought. We're going to go back through some of the details of the challenge, but we don't like to bury the lead when we do finales. So your winners, MJ and John A. I just want to get some instant reactions here. Waleed, how about you lead us off?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of surprised, watching the final unfold. But you look back at like the whole season, they're the only team that never had to go into an elimination at all. So they kind of played the political game the right way. And also, they're a team that I feel like one of the few teams that like genuinely likes each other, as teammates. So they worked really well together. I was happy for them though. So we'll see.
Brian, how about you?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I really thought watching this, we'll get there, but I thought Darrell was going to sneak this one out. I like the ending. The ending had I didn't know who was going to win. That's what was really cool about it. But I'm happy for MJ. And I liked John A. Actually didn't she place she was like the best top place girl last season?
I think she came in second last year.
Yeah, she was close.
She did.
So her and Darrell were in the final. They both lost in the final to Yes last year.
Yeah. I thought it was Yes, Darrell, John A. I thought John A. was like the top girl.
Close enough. Yeah. Second or third.
Yeah. So
that's pretty good for her because we wrote her off last season. I remember we were like, she was not someone we thought was gonna do well. But I mean, she's 2 seasons. I mean, she's been in the final, almost won once and won once. So I mean, props to her.
Yeah, she's definitely.
You guys brought up a good point there. Waleed had brought it up. Is this something that is to be commended that they didn't go through any kind of elimination throughout the entire season, or is that something that you think could be criticized, Brian? I mean, is that something that matters to you?
I mean, with it only being 8 episodes of the eliminations, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah,
if this was like Spies,
point.
Lies, Allies, where there's like 16 episodes and you make it an elimination, a little bit. But again, just adding to this, we didn't have that many eliminations to begin with. We had so many DQs this season. That's what we didn't like the season a lot. I felt like there weren't that many eliminations at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really interesting segue, Brian, because we did have that occurrence here in the final. So the final was split into 2 phases, phase 1 and 2. There was a night 1, which was the classic. One of the partners can sleep, the other can't. Always love that.
Yes.
People complain. I've seen a lot of complaints about that online. It's not supposed to do anything other than just mess with their brains and make them tired. I mean, it's a classic thing that's been in the challenge forever. I like that they include that.
Agree.
But we had a quitter.
Oh, yeah.
We had a quitter, and this, we hate quitters. We don't hate quitters worse than TJ. I mean, no one hates quitters worse than TJ, but we're giggling here because it had a little inside joke here, the Reality Guys, that we are going to share with you, the people. So Waleed sent us a text before the finale and said something to the effect of, "Hey, I'm pretty sure Tech and Ayana are going to win this final because they announced the roster for season 3, which we'll touch on a little bit, but we are going to do a preview special episode on that." He's like, but they're the only ones that I don't see returning that are in the final, so they must win.
Hey, you know what? I'll address that. And it's not a bad prediction based off of previous seasons. It really isn't, because normally when a team or one of the competitors wins a season, normally they take their winnings and they at least take like a season or 2 off before they come back. So it was just that kind of a prediction. It was based off of history since I've seen like every goddamn season. But basically looking at the roster for season 3, though, now knowing who wins, MJ and John A, they're actually returning for season 3 as winners. So I'm actually really excited to see that. I was kind of shocked by that.
Salute.
Yeah,
It is, the producers tricked you a little bit, bud. I mean, it
they
happens to the
got me.
best
They
of us.
got me. They got me on that one. But
And let me add in, I'm not a huge fan of Tech. I don't understand the hype that, like, even when we would do these previews with us, like, I think Kevin really likes Tech. Like, Waleed, you're like, I really like Tech. And I'm like, I don't really get why people like Tech that much. I don't think he's good at the challenges. And he also like skated by eliminations this season, which is bullshit because of like people getting DQ'd. Like, remember, Nehemiah and him had to almost battle again this year. Nehemiah would have sent his ass packing for a second.
Oh my God, yeah.
So he kind of got lucky, but he actually did well in this final, I will say.
No, I don't really think there was a ton of bad performances. I mean, I think the Melinda and Nehemiah mistake when they didn't run to the center, like the nucleus for that 3-phase where you had to do the 3 different puzzles where they were kind of running down the wrong path. I mean, that was probably as dumb as a performance as anyone really had in the final outside of Ayana quitting. I mean, that's completely outside of the point. I don't think you're going to see her again. Bri, I'm fine with Tech. I'm neutral. I'm not like pro or con. Tech did have actually probably one of my finally one of my funniest quotes of the final. Tech was talking about like being excited to be in the final. He goes, "I've never made a final." But when you look at his name tag, it literally says finalist challenge 2000. So Tech forgot that he was in a final.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Brian's already anti him. He's like, yeah, I know.
He like, sorry, like his body type doesn't think of like he should be a final person. Like if there were legit athletes, like really notable challenge people on the show, he never would have lasted.
Brian wants it to be like 300.
He's an underdog though, and like I said, he's got some funny quotes and memorable.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking anything away from his humor. To me, when I think of challenge, I think of like thoroughbreds like CT, Johnny Bananas, West, dudes that are like hosses that like I would if I had to challenge them, I would be afraid. I would not be afraid if I had to do challenge Tech in anything.
Well, again, the thing that's pissed me off about that, man, is like you even talk about like the Tech and Ayana stuff. Like if she's gonna quit, like Brad and Jody deserve to run that final.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like these people quitting in the final is bullshit.
Yeah, they should have, but they fell off at the end though. Brad and Jody a little bit. They started
like they wouldn't have quit.
Oh, definitely not. No way.
Oh no,
Brad would not have quit. Maybe Jody could have but Brad would not have quit.
Yeah.
Do you notice though the last thing about the quitting is that TJ was not hard on Ayana at all?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Why? Is he afraid of her?
Maybe he's like, man, it is 110 degrees out.
It was, yeah.
He's like, you guys are gonna. Maybe they were like so far behind. He's like, no, you guys are gonna lose anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, maybe it's possible.
Yeah.
Speaking of this challenge, I really like that you have a decision to make of how you're gonna do the challenge. Like, it's not like you have to do one thing after the other. You have a choice.
Agreed.
Really, really like that.
Yeah.
Anything
really
where you can make your own decisions to try to do something that's best for your team, I think it adds to the interactivity because even as an audience, then we can yell at the screen and be like, why would you do that one first? You're so dumb. Again, it's something gives us something to talk about more, but even with you sitting with your partner or talking to your friends about something you watching, it's those decisions give you more things to talk about.
Yeah, like what would you have done first? And I think the bike one was the right move.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're going to be exhausted if you do that last.
I love anything with these tethered bikes they've been doing now. I think it's really funny.
Yeah.
That's another staple.
Yeah.
They just didn't have to assemble it this time.
Yeah.
They did have no good.
Yeah, because Yes wasn't there. Like, we can't. No one's gonna be able to assemble this bike because Yes set like a PR record last season.
Yep. They did have one of my least favorite things. Actually, my least favorite thing in any kind of challenge Survivor. They had an eating challenge.
Yeah.
You didn't like that?
I just know myself again. I think it has its place. I just don't think the place is at like the very, very end of a final where like that's the last like gate to you running to the last part with like the locks was the food challenge. So I would have rather had that been in something during the season.
Fair.
That's all. That's all.
At least like the wraps, like if you didn't know that, like at least they look like wraps. Like it wasn't like, hey, you got to eat this
Yeah.
elk dick, but it's shaped like a like this time they like chopped it up and like made it into a presentable wrap. Like it looks like and the only thing was the blood. And it
They're
was
not drinking. There's no way that's real blood. They're not drinking blood, right? Like
probably like cut with water.
I
that
feel
one
like you
they
can't
found-
drink blood.
That one on they did 2 seasons of the challenge. That was pretty thick. That was definitely blood.
I just like is it weird of me for all the things that we watch and I don't get hung up on? I'm like, I just don't think they should be drinking blood.
I mean, I'm sure they have like a guy be like, this is the amount you can drink and not be affected
I think
by like the outcome of it.
this is really starting to. I didn't realize how much it bothered me, but like this may institute like going in the next season. We may now have to do like Reality Guys rules of the challenge franchise, like things you can't do, like we have for The Bachelor.
I don't know. I might have to combat you on.
No, I'm not saying no. I'm not even saying that I'm not even gonna worry about the blood thing. But it's now I'm realizing like, I might have to start keeping a list for that too now. Like there's some no-nos that we need to. I mean, no quitting is that might have to go instantly on there. I mean, that's TJ's like instant. It's like a commandment.
Don't you think it would have been harder to drink like a glass of a whole gallon of whole milk compared to a glass of blood after eating all that stuff? That would be way harder.
That would be pretty hard.
They could just do
I've seen
harder thing, like normal things, like hey, like I just watched Always Sunny. Like you have to eat a cake, but it's before it's cooked. Like all the ingredients.
Yeah, the ingredients of a cake.
Basic things. Like it would be really funny if it was just like like not anything super gross when you think about it.
And also, like, is there something that should be addressed here? I don't really think MJ ate anything. I think he literally took a couple bites and then would puke. Take a couple bites and puke. Like, can you just do that?
He was throwing up the most out of everybody.
Like, can you just do that? I thought you'd be done if you puke.
Maybe that rule's more lax on All Stars than it is on the main show.
He's a celiac.
Yeah, Melinda though, on the other hand, puked it on the ground once.
Yeah, and picked it up and ate it. Yeah,
that was savage. Oh my god,
savage, man. Yeah, kudos to her, man. What a competitor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is my thing. Is like I wish they had more of this season. Like we did not have any banter at all, really, about this season to this level of positivity. But I do want to draw in and carry into something positive. Season 3 looks dope.
Oh yeah. The cast looks awesome.
Yeah, they're finally getting that pool of like they're consistently doing it. People are like, hey, I think I can win this.
Yeah,
that's attracting the names we want to see.
There are going to be a lot of returns. Like we said, season 1 champion. Yes, MJ and John A are back. We see a lot. Like Brad is back. I saw Nehemiah. Cyrus is back from season 1. There's going to be some newcomers as well. But like I said, we're going to do a preview special and we're going to go through all the cast members and we'll give you a thing. But like you said, Bri, it is just now the idea that it is becoming a viable franchise unto its own because there are now going to be some storylines. Looks like a lot of the Palace is going to come back. So you're going to have a lot of the Palace storyline. You're going to start to see guys like apparently read an article that Johnny Bananas actually was very close to doing this season and then pulled out last second.
Whoa.
Pulled out last second and
at the very end of the article,
some other obligation and stuff like that. He does a lot of crap. So point being again is like if they want to really boost that up and they really want to get those Paramount Plus subscriptions up, because again, the challenge is a ratings juggernaut for MTV still. And the idea now that like there is an exclusive challenge season. So if you have Johnny Bananas and like Wes on a season, or you can get CT to do a season of All Stars, you're going to get such a crazy boost in Paramount Plus. So I think we're going to do that soon. We'll probably do that early next week. I mean, I know the season, we don't have a premiere date. It's probably not going to be until the spring, but I want to talk about it with you guys. I don't really want to wait, a few months to talk about it. Any other thoughts, guys, closing out the finale here and season 2 of All Stars?
Well, CT will not be on All Stars anytime soon because he's consistently winning the main show. Yeah. So he's going to be on the show and he has a walker and he'll still win.
Yeah. And CT is like actually doing like he's filming a movie right now. Like CT also, I don't think wants to be away for a ton. So like I could see CT doing like a couple year break and then maybe doing an All Stars thing if they throw a bunch of money at him to try to again boost like subs.
Yeah. He would whoop. Would he lose? Like
I'm curious though. Like, are they going to get like guys like Jordan next season and things like that? Are they just going to get instantly targeted? You know what I mean? As far as voting, there's alliances already, things like that. Now, Wes and Nehemiah in real life are like best friends. So if Wes were to ever be involved, and Wes being involved, that would be a big dynamic too, as far as like allies.
Yeah. I feel like adding Wes to this is going to be the most.
That's a big move.
That is a big move, yeah, for the whole franchise.
You know who targets the big players is the losers, like the Palace.
The Palace, they're the losers. They targeted the big players.
Are nobodies on the main show.
Yeah,
Letarian's back too. Like we're gonna have a lot of that. We're gonna have there's gonna be a little faction warfare very early on in season 3.
They gotta get the Kingslayers out there.
Yeah. I have a feeling too. They're going to have a little bit of a twist for season 3. I think there is going to be a little bit more of a gimmick. I do think with big players like that, I don't think it's just going to be straightforward as the first 2 seasons have been, which I'm looking forward to. I do need to say that there's really not a lot of scrubs. You know what I mean? If you look at it now, it is really All-Stars has been a very loose term. I think the first 2 seasons, I think if you took the best of each season, they would be All-Stars, but next season did not seem like there was a lot of like scrubs. I don't think anyone's going to quit next season.
Yeah, no quitters, man. That'd be awesome if TJ's like, you quit, you're suspended for a season, like you're out.
You should be done.
But yeah.
I love looking through the cast and not seeing like Katie on there.
Yeah, good.
But Tina's coming back. She was
Kayla too. Kayla will be good.
Yeah, Tina's back though after she quit this season. I'm sure she got a lot of shit in the real world for quitting, so she probably like, you know what, I gotta come back and redeem myself.
Yeah, she'll just come on and yell.
Ugh. She's the worst.
Yeah, why would they let Tina back?
I don't know. She's
maybe TJ will crack the whip. He's like, starting this season, you quit. I'm
gonna let back ever.
It's like Harry Potter in the Triwizard Tournament. They actually have your children locked away in a cage right now, and if you do something stupid, we're
gonna kill them.
Yep. Well, there you go, Brian. You got an hour. Your kids are in a lake.
Yeah, looks like the next season set in Panama too. So I think that's the setting for it.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I like that. I do. All right, guys. As far as everything else Reality Guys related, we appreciate everyone's support, comments, communities growing. We are covering right now The Bachelor, which is we have The Amazing Race, which is and obviously we've been covering The Challenge, which has ended on a positive note. As far as stuff coming up, we will continue to cover The Bachelor, The Amazing Race. We will give you that season 3 All-Stars preview probably in the next week or so. We are waiting for Celebrity Big Brother to start next month, and then we are waiting for Survivor to come back in March. So plenty of stuff for you guys to watch and get into, and a lot of back seasons that you guys can watch and follow. But for myself, Brian, Waleed, Kevin, peace.